Hello, and welcome to Sassy Scrapbooking. In this video, I am going to create a notebook with lined pages. These are the items I am going to use in addition to the Cricut Deep Cutting Blade, which is not shown here. I'm going to use the Reflections Masterpiece 2 markers to create the lined pages. Please note that the circumference of these markers is much smaller than the circumference of the Cricut markers, but with the adapter on side A of the Cricut Explorer, these markers work beautifully. I got the idea from Sharon's Boredom Busters idea book on the Cricut Design Space site and made a few modifications of my own. I think you're going to love the end results for this little notebook as much as I do. In the Cricut Design Space, scroll down until you find the Boredom Busters idea book and open it. You will notice that it brings up all the individual pieces you need to create this project, including the cost and time frame it will take to cut and assemble it. We are actually going to use the Customize button located between the cost to make this project and the Make It Now button. This will bring up the pieces you will need for this project onto your screen. I removed all the graphics so that I only have the two covers and the individual lined pages. Here I am creating one more cover. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it, and actually you'll see later on in the video that I am going to delete it because there's already the amount of cover cutouts that I need. I'm also going to take one of the sheets and I am going to go through and delete all the little squares. In the video itself, it's called a note. So I'm going to click on the eye and block those out. Once all the squares have been deleted, I am going to go ahead and click on this sheet and I'm going to duplicate it a few times. What I'm trying to do is come up with pages that have the square for a check mark and some pages that are just lined pages for the notebook. Now what I want to do is select one of these cover cutouts and change the color. I need two to match one color so that we can designate these as the cutouts for cardstock, and two that are the same color that can be designated as cutouts for the chipboard that I'm going to be using, and that's going to be the very top cover page and the back page, and we're going to cover those with the cardstock so that they'll look nice and pretty front and back. Now we press cut and it looks like I didn't get rid of all the graphics, so we need to go back and delete that graphic. Okay, much better. Now we see that we have the mat for the cover, the mat for the cardstock, and the individual pages. Again, some of them are lined and some of them have the box for the check marks. We'll also notice before we press go that the cost of this project is now 0, which means that of the items that we're using, I either am a subscriber to the item or I have the cartridge. Okay, so I've cut the cover, the front and back covers. I did use chipboard for this, and I also used the Cricut Deep Cutting Blade. And what I'm going to do, just remove them off the mat and set them aside for the time being. Now what I'm going to do is take the cardstock that I am going to cover the chipboard with. I'm going to take this 12 by 12 piece and I'm going to cut it basically in half. So I have a 6 by 12 and a 6 by 12, and I'm going to set it aside. I'm removing the deep cut blade from my Cricut, and I'm going to go ahead and put the regular blade back in. I'm going to now get my Recollections Masterpiece 2 pens out. And this is the blunt end or the medium size, and I'm actually going to use the fine tip and put that in the A slot of my Cricut and hit go and watch it draw those beautiful lines for me. And now that I have the lines drawn and the page actually cut out, they look like this. These are going to be the individual pages that fit in the notebook. Let me just take the chipboard covers that I cut out earlier and put one in the front and one in the back, and you can see the assembly of the notebook. So now what I'm doing, because I printed quite a few of the insert pages, and I printed some with the box for the check mark and some that are just straight lined pages, and so now to assemble them I am alternating between the two. So I went ahead and cut out the stock card. Those are the 6 by 12 inch pieces that I had set aside earlier, and these are going to be the front and the back covers that I'm going to adhere to the chipboard. I used repositionable tape on the chipboard and set my stock paper on top. I just want to make sure that it's going to align correctly, and once I've confirmed that, I went ahead and used permanent tape to adhere the stock card to the chipboard. I then followed the directions on Sharon's post for creating the binding, which is to thread the ribbon through the top hole of the stacked book, pull the ribbon through until there are equal lengths on both sides, crisscross the ribbon and thread both ends through the middle hole, crisscross the ribbon again and thread both ends through the bottom hole. Secure the binding by tying a knot in the ribbon on the back of the book near the bottom. Trim ends as needed. Well, I did follow these directions, and it worked great, but then I found out I couldn't really open the book very well. So my next thought was I wanted to be able to open the book, and because I used chipboard and I didn't really want the top cover to be bending all the time, I spread the book open and loosened up the ribbon a little bit, and then tightened it up with the book open. I tied the knots with the book open so that now it's going to allow the movement of the pages, and I like it a little better. I didn't really want to put the crease or have a crease be put into the chipboard, and this allows me, I can actually undo the knots and add pages or take out pages as I want, and they're more flexible. Well, that's the end of my video. I would like to thank you for watching my videos at Sassy Scrapbooking. Please subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. I will continue to add new videos as my adventures with the Cricut Explorer continue. Bye for now.